Game on, boys and girls! We got the Nexus Cup. We actually have a double elimination system, so we're gonna get into a couple of the games of the tournament. This is a best-of-3 series played between the Special Snowflakes and the HotS F tier. Obviously, as you can tell, there's a couple of mixed teams going on right now, so this is the first game of best-of-3 series, and we're starting things off on Brax's holdout. We on Thrall on the left side, we got Ixia on Rexa, Iwea on Stukov, Dino on Gazlo, and Lauber on Imperius. Whereas on the right side of the map, we got Tobos on Gul'dan, Yasu on Anduin, Tobos on Deathwing, Mene on Kel'Thas, and Mopsio is playing Johanna. Alright, so as you can tell, teams that have been mainly drafted together for this particular tournament, so we have a pretty cool one. There's also a couple of teams that still have stayed as a unit in the past. Washed Up, for example, is still playing with their usual 5-man, might have a sub player in there every now and then, but we're gonna go through that and all over those things when we're heading into the later parts of the tournament. Now we're finding ourselves in the semifinal of the winner bracket, and we are already starting things off with a bit of a bang down at the bottom of the map. Big combo coming out as they're trying to make the play for Yasu over here, and that's a kill. Anduin is down, already committing Sudoku early on in the game. We got Thrall up at the top, going straight into the Trolling Thunder, holding the line alone. And here on Brax is now the control over at the bottom of the map, coming through from the Special Snowflakes. Alright, do we have a couple of Snowflakes that they're riding as well? Not really, so that's already a little bit of a fail. That Skinergy that they just lost right there. We could have gone for a couple of Snowflake mounts to make this perfect, but they missed out on that. I hope that they're picking it up later on in the tournament, because that would be a little bit sad if they would lose out on this opportunity. Either way, top lane, that's where Thrall goes up against Deathwing at this point. So we have our one-on-one setup pretty much in action. We got also our camps now taken. Obviously, it's a double mage system that we now have for the HotS F tier. And not really a combo that is all that common. We had at the... It was actually kind of sad that HGC went down when it did, because back at the time, Dignitas was playing around with a couple of double mage combos and were experimenting with it and thought that in certain situations and maps it had a bit of a place. So they wanted to use that as a bit of a pocket strategy back then in the days. But generally speaking, double mage isn't really something that has shown a lot of success in the past. So they're going to try and get that win secured here to make it into the winner bracket final. But right now, with a bit of a zip from Anduin, they're at least saving Mopsio as he's making his way over. Good attack against Dino. Has to pop his medallion though, so that's a 5-minute cooldown that just got burned. And in addition to that, we now have the level 4 talents on both sides. Thrall controls the top lane against Deathwing. Pretty easy peasy, the War Chief at work there. Whereas down here, we now have Stukov controlling the space quite nicely and helping his team to get control over the second beacon. And therefore work heavily towards the first objective. And a big Zerg wave would really help them a lot. Deathwing has moved up to the top. We still have, I mean, even Gazlo is making his way over because he kind of expects that the HotS F tier is going to try and make a play for the top beacon instead of lingering around at the bottom one, I suppose. But that doesn't really happen. So that's 100-0 on the Zerg wave. That's pretty nasty. That's a really big push that's coming through the top lane now. And HotS F tier, they are in danger of losing their forward for sure. So with all the mages that they have, there's a lot of wave clear on their side though, and they got Deathwing too, so there's still hope that they can burn it down quickly. But it's at least a 4-man push now from the Special Snowflakes, as they are saying, let's see what we can get. And Mena's already low. He's not the only one. Deathwing is low too, and well, there's nothing that Anduin can do about that. So this fort is still very much so exposed, and it even leads to Mopsio moving to the top side in an attempt to help his teammates out here. Lauber is caught on the wrong side of the fight and will likely fall, but he buys a little bit of extra time, and that's all that they're probably going to need here. Yeah, Lauber currently occupying 2 of the heroes, even a bit longer than expected. He finally falls, but the fort is gone. And that's not the only thing. In the meantime, Ixia is now at the bottom of the map trying to barrel through the wall here, and he's doing a great job too. He went straight into the flare on level 1, so has a bit more of a reveal and can scout for the team. Hunter-Gatherer is in, and they're destroying the wall here as well. And on the minimap, you can see that some of the heroes on the blue team side have actually taken a position between the two lanes, trying to slow down a rotation. Now, Tobos takes a very, very safe one right now, together with the two accounts here. And, well, off we go. So, bit of a tricky start into this. Doesn't really... I mean, on experience is not really that big of a gap, right? But you look over to the structures on the map and there's a huge difference. I mean, that's a really big one. Mena's trying to get enough stacks together on his level 1 so that he has a proper shield that he can utilize. But they are now trailing just for a few seconds on Talons. We got the Goblin Fusion in, the Flash of Anger, and the Ancestral Wrath right here. There's the level 7 Talons on the other side, give us amongst other things the Hunger for Power and the Blessed Momentum right there together with the Skyfall. A little bit more action down at the bottom of the map. Deathwing coming in too. Gravity Lapse, good follow up. They're trying to go for Stukov. He's in trouble and he's down. Stukov eliminated. They go for Misha. Yeah, that is a terrible situation for Rexa right now. One might say unbearable as Misha goes down and dies. So Rexa has to wait a little bit longer until Misha is back, but at least that little numbers game down here is used by the HotS F tier to break through the wall and try to take the second tower now down too. And Misha is back to business. Alright. Trying to make the play for Mopsio now. Now, bear with me here for a moment, but if Misha claws her way to victory and locks Mopsio down, then it's not unthinkable that this is gonna bear out for them. So there is a chance that Mopsio is gonna find his master in Misha, but time will tell. Now, for the time being, it seems like the entire fight is starting to shift onto the camp, and the blue team is willing to fight for this one. So, they don't see that every day. I mean, it's not like any of the teams as elite here. Misha is down again, and they're trying to make the play for Mopsio, who gets saved by Anduin, but the camp is now taken. The camp is taken, easily stolen, and that was much easier for them than I expected it to be. So, I don't know. Down to the bottom of the map, there's the first beacon taken. At the top, the next. Guys, this is starting to get a little bit into beatdown territory. Look how they're zoning them out right now. The camp slowed the red team even more, but now they have completely lost control over any of the beacons. And it doesn't really look like they're getting anywhere near of taking them back. They're trying at the bottom of the map now, but it's already a 58% progress for the special snowflakes. And I don't know. Doesn't really look to me like these guys need a safe space. It's pretty much the exact opposite. I mean, they're coming in and they're just dominating spaces wherever they go. They're bullying the opposition. That's some false advertisement right there, if you ask me. Top side. There's another 100-0. I mean, what the hell? That is just rough. Seems like the red team just tries to get to level 10 and play then around their heroic abilities. Where granted, they have some really good combos. If you use any kind of stun, whatever it is, for a good Aurifier as a follow-up, you can make big plays. Talking about follow-ups, they're trying to go for Dino up at the top. And obviously, Gazlo is going to go down here. But at what cost, ladies and gentlemen? At what cost? Level 10 is already in. Bottom fort is gone. He's occupying them even further. Mena had to drop the medallion even. And Dino finally falls. But just look at what happens at the bottom of the map. The fort is gone. They make the play for the keep. This is not looking like a good game for the red team here. The blue team is on a rampage right now. And they likely are going to walk away with the keep here. Maybe not quite. I mean, they're not pushing for it aggressively, and I guess the red team is going to be able to barely save it, but it's going to be a close call. Oh, it's going to be really close. And don't tell me they get it. They don't. 41 HP. Are you fucking kidding me? 41 hit points out of 17,000. Wow. 8 minutes and 20 seconds in, and the keep nearly fell. That would have been such a big blow to the HotS F tier, but it didn't quite work out that way. Now, that thing is sitting at the top side. We have on level 10, Blessed Shield ready, the Horrify as expected. And they're just getting ready to control the space at the top again, maybe even invade one of the camps. Bosses are, of course, up too. If Rexa can sneak Misha in at the bot lane, that would be fantastic. But yeah, we'll see how this is going to work out as the game continues, because there might be 3 kills for a hard stack F tier, but let's face it, you look at the game, and there's one clear leader in how this is going, and those are the special snowflakes. They are quite special at this point, with 2 of the heroes, 3 on 10 to 11,000 damage. Gul'dan has 20, Khaldor has also nearly 20, just as a comparison. But that doesn't really mean anything if you're just slacking on the rotational game. You're losing out at your opponent controlling the objective from start to finish. So Misha is already coming in, trying to go for the brawl here. Yeah, they're making a play from Imperius this time. Lauber locked down, pops the ult, and they're starting to go for the fight. Here comes the ult of Gazlo. That didn't do anything. And Imperius goes down. So does Misha. Seems like the F tier is going ham on this one. Objective isn't up. Boss, on the other hand, is still on the map. Could be taken, but they're not going for it. Instead, they're making the play for the fort. Trying to take that one down. Crest is completed for Mene. Big spike for him now. Good power level boost. And still riding the money pick here in style, as usual. Punkt in der B-Note. Alright. Taking the fort down, and goodbye. Finally a structure destroyed by the team in red. Hell, it was about time. They're looking good in kills, and as the game continues and death timers rise, kills are going to become more and more important. So there's definitely still a chance for them to come back. They need to make sure that they're not losing out on another objective though, or they're losing forts, or sorry, keeps for sure. So this is an opportunity to make their way back into the game. But instantly, after the beacons are up, they are taken right away by the blue team. Blessed Shield comes out though, as they're trying to make the valet for Gazlo. Nicely done here with another medallion. Instead, a save by Anduin. Nice, keeping Mene alive here. Job well done. The problem is that Imperius follows up at the top against Mopsio, and Mopsio 60 HP, and he gets sundered. Thrall comes in, sunders his ass down, pays the price though as he dies a second later, but they're going for Deathwing and turn him into Deadwing. And now it's another 100-0 wave for the Snowflakes. This time focusing onto the top lane. But of course they want both. They want to keep at the bottom of the map as well. With 41 hit points they're going to get it for sure. Misha comes in and just paws it into the ground with a quick hit. Now they can make a play either for core or for top. And they're going for that core. Yasuo is already moving back. Deathwing isn't here yet. And as they're going for the shield, the 2 mages that were trying to deal with the top Zerg wave are all of a sudden forced back for the defense. So they can't deal with the top any longer, which exposes the keep to further damage. So that's a problem. Light bomb comes out, but the play for Mena. Mena's low, plays around it, and is able to get the kill with Deathwing. Takes down Raxa. But talking about taking things down, that top wall is falling. Mena should be able to save the keep here. At the bottom of the map, Deathwing still a bit on the move, trying to see if he can maybe take some of those guys down, lock them in, but not quite. Now, they got a keep. They opened the top wall. They did a bit of damage to the the second keep itself. Not really much happening outside of that. But camps are right away attacked. 20,000 damage now on Imperius. Yeah, and the damage numbers are really, there's a huge difference in how much damage the teams are pushing out. The blue team has finally also taken a couple of kills, but the hard stack FD is still way ahead on it. But they are losing ground every single time that we are fighting over an objective on this map. It's kind of nuts, honestly. This is the 3rd Zerg wave where they didn't do anything. So they're pretty much playing without an objective here, if you think about it. All 3 objectives, all 3 waves that were won by the special Snowflakes ended up with 100-0. Not on a single one did they even get a single percentage point on the progress. That is a huge problem. Now, top side, Tobos is flying out. I don't know, can we maybe try and take him down here? Doesn't seem like it. And yeah, not happening. Mene comes in again, starts with the damage. Lauber though pops the ult, and they are ready to fight apparently. We have the ult immediately used on the side of Raxa, and they're still trying to make the play. Misha a little bit low though. Blessed Shield comes out. They're going for the bear first. Here comes the ult from Gazlo. Horrify, nice, well placed. They're trying to turn it around against the Goblin, but he can't get the kill. Bot lane is pushing in the meantime as this happens. Good lockdown against Khaldor. And there's the Sundering. They take the kill against the Fire Mage, and Jojo dies too. 2 heroes obliterated. That's level 16. They try for the counter kill against Lauber, and he gets taken down by the towers, just as we have the Thunderstorm coming online for Thrall. but now the boss is wide open. It's a 4 versus 3, and that's the best opportunity they had so far. Big push at the bottom of the map, so that has to be dealt with. Push at the top lane, also a concern. Therefore, full vision for the special snowflakes, and they can go easily for the boss and take it. The objective gets announced as well. They can time this even around the objective. Deathwing is coming in. They claim it. Perfect timing for now. And it's going to be just another pressure point against the hard-stuck F tier. So now there's so many ways how you can play this. You can try to go with the boss. You can ignore it and simply go for the beacons again. Wait for another 100-0 wave on the Zergs. So that seems to be what they're doing. And the Blessed Shield misses. Mopsy was hoping for a quick kill, and they had to move in. But the more time they spend at the top trying to control the beacon, the less time they have to go for the boss and defend it. This is a really tricky situation. And it is made easier by the fact that catapults are now pushing through the bottom of the map. Still, the fight at the top side is raging on. Kalthas the only one trying to deal with the boss. Everybody else is fighting now, and that includes Rexxar and also Gazlor as they come in. Lockdown Gul'dan gets pushed out. There's the kill. Anduin is dead too. That's a double, baby. Kalthas the only one still defending the boss, but the keep is about to fall anyways, and obviously the progress bar is now heavily in favor of the blue team. They get one kill, they try to go for Deathwing, they don't quite get him. Mene has at least defended the keep for all good. That's going to do him, as the rest of the blue team is going for victory. They're moving straight through keep number 2. Progress is working in their favor as they are already going for the core. This looks like a lights out moment. 8 kills to 8. They actually close the gap in kills. And now with 3 defenders down, they're making the play for the core to end game number 1 in this best of 3 series here in the winner bracket semi-final. Easy victory. The core goes down. That was a well-controlled game by the special snowflakes as they take down the hard-stuck F tier in the first game of this best of 3 series. GG and well done. Game number 2, we are on Volskaya Foundry. We got the special snowflakes against the hard-stuck F tier, best of 3 series in the Nexus Cup. And to the left side, we on Rexxar, Dino, and Zeratul. I haven't seen that one in a while. I'm looking forward to it. Ixia on Cassia, Lauba on Johanna, and I think that is honestly a missed opportunity. Ixia is not playing the Brightwing in the game. Like, I don't know what to say about that. We are on Brightwing instead. We got Tobos on Liming. Tobos is muted on Diva. Mopsio on Imperius. Mene on Hanzo. And Yasu on Ana for the nano boost for Li Ming. Now, I haven't pointed this out in game number 1 because I think it's obvious, but since we had a lot of games on the North American server in the recent past, I think I have to highlight it real quickly. This is obviously all played out on the European server. It's a European tournament, these are all European players, and all of this stuff is played on Europe, so there's no problems with ping in these games, and that's probably also one of the reasons why we have Dino currently on Zeratul, which is usually a hero where he just pops off. And, well, we're going to double check if they can do something over here. Yeah, at this point, we have currently Greater Cleave in. Diva is already in a little bit of trouble down here at the bottom of the map. We currently have Thunderstroke in. And let's see what happens at the top side. Yeah, there's our Li Ming. Now we're nearly on the 1 minute mark when the items spawn. And again, this is one of the more predictable maps that we have in the pool. Once, yeah, first items are already dropping down, and you want to be on your turret items as quickly as you can. So the rotation is always get the turret item first, and then make a play up at the top for the healing camp. And that's always a bit of I mean, it's a bit of a judgment call. Do you have a composition early on in the game that can contest your opponent in a 5-man? Yes or no? Do you want to go for that item? Or do you just let it slide? If your opponent doesn't make a move for it either, and you decide that it's not in your best interest to take a team fight there, then you can just let it slide and both teams approach the first objective with only 1 turret. But one of the main reasons why you want to get your turret this early is that if you take it just at the 1 minute mark or shortly after, you will be able to claim a second turret as the first objective is still active on the map, which then of course allows you potentially to turn the fight in your favor if your opponent, for example, screwed that up, doesn't have the extra item and has problems there. In this case, both of the teams still looking for the healing beacon. The blue team trying to make an early move and then deciding against it. But, well, the F tier is going for it now. They have the level 4 talent at the same time than their opponent does. We now have dominance also Liming, so can go a bit more aggressive, especially after level 7's Calamity. And they're going for the healing beacon. And they will get it. Good push by them. Had to drop the item here too, and now we have them in an advantageous position since they're running 2 items against the one on the side of the Snowflakes. So far, so good. Alright, down here on the other hand, Zeratul is coming in. Would love to have that kill against D.Va. With Cassia, we are of course stacking as well. It's kind of interesting. With Zeratul now played by Dino, we don't see him on Cassia, which is his usual hero pick on this map. If he can go for Cassia, he will. And he still holds the stacking record in the games that I casted of him on this map. I think he ended up on 160 stacks in one of the games that I casted of him on Volskaya Foundry, which was of course insane in the late game. I mean, incredible damage output by him. Control point is already about to unlock, and both teams go with the timing on their camp. So it's a question of whether or not the teams will try to defend the top lane. Right wing has that global element, which will allow her to make a little bit of a play here. Now, Rexa is still sitting all the way down at the bottom, but the red team has started to move on to the objective and started to control the checkpoint. So we got Mene with the explosive arrows on level 4, starting to make the plays here towards the middle. Good sleep dart by Yasu. And no follow-up really possible. I mean, Liming wasn't here for it. But it's the level 7 talent that they're really looking for. And that's true for the Snowflakes, but it's of course also true for the red team, since they have Calamity and Liming, which they really want for this fight. Ooh, hybrid build a bit here for Yasu. Anti-healer comes in against Brightwing at this point. Okay. And we got the level 7 talents, which now gives us a Seeker in the Dark. And I have to highlight this build again. This is always a build. I've been talking about this in the games featuring North American players. Nice force, by the way, on the item. Opsio was put under pressure and had to drop the healing beacon. But I was ooh, beautiful kill. Nicely done. Great follow-up from Liming and Hanzo after the initial lockdown. But I have to come back to Zeratul. I've been talking about this for quite some time, as the F tier now locks in the first protector, that the Zeratul players on the North American server really have some very odd Zeratul builds if you think about it. They are a little bit slow in adapting to the meta changes that we had. On the European side, if you see any kind of cleave setup, it's usually only the level 1 and the level 16. And I want to say that at this point, it's more or less the standard build. But even if you go away from that, we have very few Zeratul players over here that will not go for Psionic Strength on level 4. And the big change is also that instead of going for Void Prison, you will go for your level 10 that will allow you just to reset the cooldown. So it's all about the Might of the Nerazim and more about the Zeratul style that allows you to wreak havoc in the opponent's backline. And it's not so much about you trying to isolate one hero from the opponent's team by maybe VPing the healer, VPing the hero itself, setting up a wombo or something. And NA has been very, very slow to pick up on that. That style has been very dominant in Europe for a long time now. And every time that we are seeing a Zeratul played out in these North American games, it seems like it's going the same way. And this is still a bit surprising to me. And I know this has been a bit of a longer tangent, but I really want to emphasize this change as we are seeing one of those Zeratul Might of the Nerazim builds that I've been highlighting so much, just because recently on the NA server it was a few other styles that we saw. Very more down the old school road, and to be fair, even though we had a couple of good VPs, they never really worked out in the long run. But anyways, it's not only about Zeratul in this game. We have so far Cassia also with a very decent amount of stacking. 33 stacks, 6 minutes into the game. With the level 7 talents, we got the nano boost now in there. As I said, the Might of the Nerazim comes through. Also, Falling Sword against Ana on the other side. Always a talent that can be incredibly powerful, because you can put pressure onto the support and make it really difficult for Ana to get those heals through. So that's something that they're going to try and use together with Zeratul as they're jumping in. 11 stacks also for Rexa, who is now working on his extra armor over here. And it's time for items again. Whereas there's no objective up just yet. You can see that the fountain at the top side was destroyed, so that's what you're aiming for with the first objective. You want to try to weaken your opponent's defense and setup at the top lane, which is where the second objective will spawn. 1 kill to 0 right now. Yeah, the damage output, I guess, could also be quite interesting. So far, Cassia hasn't taken over on the top damage numbers yet. She's sitting at 13,000. Of course, D.Va can stack the damage a little bit against Rexa in particular, and Misha. That's why she's sitting at 21k. Obviously, she can still get a lot of damage anyways in those fights. But I suppose that as the game continues, we are going to see Cassia take over here. Yeah, and that's a problem. That's a kill. That's a kill for sure. Zeratul coming in together with Rexa. Absolutely no chance. D.Va goes down, and that's the end of that. Now towards the top side, there's still a bit of action happening as they're trying to make the play for Lauba again. He can always jump out here using his ult, so that's not a problem for him. Mopsio also sliding around here slowly. Still has the healing beacon, so gotta be careful. Misses the lunge, goes forward, gets attacked right away. Might have to drop the item even, and they're committing to the fight. They're already going for the arrow. Maina connects it. Li Ming comes in with a kill. Doesn't get it. The Calamity doesn't do enough damage. Brightwing goes down, but Dino lives at least for another second. Turbos with a good play attempt here. But the ult, the wave of force, not successful. Was a good turnaround regardless. And they take Trashwing down. Easy kill against her. Yeah, by now 43 stacks for Cassia. Honestly, it's pretty much a standard. 8 minutes in, most Cassia players that know what the hell they're doing will end up around 40 stacks. That's what we see from Dino a lot. That's what we are seeing in this game now. From Ixia as well. So pretty much exactly that. Level 13 talents are now coming in as the objective is up on the map, and of course that gives us also the Mending Strikes right here for the heals. We have the Illusionist for Li Ming, always a fantastic talent that just gives a great synergy with her level 7. Can come in, has the additional range also, which is just absolutely incredible. Not only for safety reasons, but yeah. So right now we got top side, our little play against Mopsio, still holding the point. Zeratul is still at the bottom of the map though, so they're rocking a 4 versus 4 fight for the time being. Yeah, and Mopsio is still holding this. Actually blocking Misha too, so they can take her down. This might be another objective for the red team. They're looking strong here. They're looking good. They're already at 94%, and if they can hold the beacon just a little bit longer, they're going to be in a great spot. Brightwing comes in for the heal. Zeratul is there. There's the flap against Turbos. The kill with the boars and the follow-up against Ana. Nicely done. They want a little bit more, and they get Mopsio. It's a triple kill, ladies and gentlemen. Very nicely played here. They make the play for Li Ming, they make the play for Ana. That was a beautiful falling sword that we saw, and the follow-up was of course great. Now they have control of the point. We have 4 kills against 3. Zeratul sitting all the way down at the bottom of the map right now. And yeah, this is all of a sudden a game that could still flip. We were close. I mean, the red team at 94%, this was definitely an opportunity that they could try and get second protector, and if they do, then that easily ends up with the top fort gone, maybe even one in the middle destroyed. But now, the Snowflakes got a chance. It's a 5 versus 5 on the map. Problem is also that a lot of the medallions have been used by the F tier. And everybody on the blue team still has their medallion cooldown ready. Of course, there's a bit of an item advantage now too in favor of the Snowflakes. Here comes another play, straight up for Yazu. And that's the problem with Ana. Big jumps here from Johanna and from Zeratul. They take Ana down, they take Imperius down, and that's the first protector for the blue team. Nicely done. Very well done, actually. 7 kills to 3. Good control of the map now. They have a lead in experience, and they're starting to build on it. And they're even trying to get the kill against D.Va here again, I suppose. Can't quite make the play, but they're still looking good. Also, Zeratul's build is now coming together as his level 16 synergy with the level 1 is coming in. They're starting to go for the fort in the middle of the map. Now, at the bottom of the map, as you might notice, this fountain is already gone. So this is pretty much half the battle if you're looking to prepare for the next objective. So that's a good move by the special snowflakes here. And, well, let's go. But you could see in the last 2 team fights quite nicely why exactly Johanna players oftentimes take Falling Sword against Ana in particular. It puts so much pressure on the backliner. Ana doesn't have any kind of escape that she can use to get away from it. So you have a very good shot at taking the hero out, or at least denying heals to the rest of the team for a time. And that's exactly what they've been doing here. And this Protector has been doing work. I mean, they get 3 forts out of this. They took the top fort down, they take the fort in the middle apart, and now they can make the play down here for not only fort number 3, but maybe even a little bit more. Arrow is missing. The fight continues, though. A bit more stacking for Cassia, who's now sitting at 56. Lauber and Brightwing just moving around with the mobility that they have. They're still trying to make the play for Ixir, and that's a kill. Reset for Tobos. Gets another one as Misha dies. Well done. They're trying to go for Dino, and he has to move out, using the might of the Narazim to escape. Dino, by the way, sitting on 33,000 damage, so good numbers on Zeratul too. But the top damage by now, as predicted earlier, is Cassia. Cassia sitting at 39,000 right here. That's a nice steal at the top, though. Is it, though? Because they're trying to go for it. Okay, there's the vision. No! They did all the work, and then, well, it gets stolen. And, well, Dino is still trying to rush around. Dino nearly getting a kill against Tobos here. But is able to make it at least out of harm's way. I guess that's half the battle. If he gets the kill, of course, that would be insane. But him surviving is the main objective for now. So they're good. 2 more hits, by the way, on the globes, and we're gonna have the quest completed for Rakza on level 4. 60 stacks by now for Cassia, so she's sitting good too. And here comes the claim on the item. All about item control right now. Trying to get as much as you can. We have 2 turrets already in the hands of the red team. So the F tier is starting to get some momentum for the next objective. And I mean, they're the ones who lost the outer ring of defense. The problem for them is that outside of them taking the fort, or at least the fountain down at the top, fort is still standing. They haven't really done a whole lot. They didn't really take a lot of structures down. They scratched some walls, destroyed some towers, but you look at those forts, you look at those fountains, and they're all still in place with the exception of the top lane. So they're looking at a pretty awkward position for the bot lane right now, and they have to compensate for it by taking an item advantage, which they're now very eager to get here too. So they're going to get another item that puts them in a position where they have 3 items to, I want to say it's 0. Yep, there's no item for the blue team. But the problem that they're going to face is the potential level 20 talent for the Snowflakes. This is one of the reasons why the blue team decided to not go and fight over the healing beacon topside. Because they're looking at this and they're saying, well, we need level 20. We have a half a level advantage over our opponent. If we just wait for the 20, we can try to force the fight around it. And if we win it, then they can have as many items as they want. But we're going to be the ones that have a talent advantage. And Storm talents are just incredible. So Zeratul is now starting to sneak in exactly as he should, and they are waiting for the 20 and then trying to force the fight on them. Or go for the objective. The problem is that the objective duration alone is most likely making it improbable that it's going to be a talent advantage throughout the entire objective. I assume that eventually we're going to have the pickup on level 20 for Hardstack F tier 2. Now they're level behind right now. John is going for the cooldown reduction. We got the invisible friends. I mean, again, I'm never tired to say that all of Brightwing's friends are invisible because Brightwing doesn't have any fucking friends. But we got also the Heaven's Fury, we got the Rock Stopper, and Kill Command, of course. So now with half a level still missing, Hardstack F tier is still trailing behind on experience. They're actually getting pressured a little bit at the bot lane too. So it makes it harder for them to branch out onto the lanes and get the experience. We got, well, Imperius in the middle. He's most likely going to rotate up again to take another wave. But that's 52% on the progress bar already, and I really thought they would be able to catch up in experience. I might have been wrong here. This is 20 in just a few seconds, but I don't really know. 79%, 80 is going to be a difficult battle, especially with the option of going for a pre-tap on the side of the blue team. A good arrow from Mena might be able to change things, but yep, there we go. Quick tap on the fountain. One comes in. There's a pre-tap, using a little bit of mana, pre-tapping the fountain, and then going in straight away. So Brightwing is topside for a bit more experience, pushes the lane now too, and then can just global in whenever. So off we go. There's the chance right here to make the play. They are actually not making it right away, so this pre-tap on Ui is actually not really working out for him. But there comes the move, and Lauber misses it completely. That's a full cooldown on the falling sword, no reduction whatsoever. This might backfire. Arrow connects, they're trying to get the kill. Yeah, they can't quite get it, and Mopsio, and he's dead. Mopsio is down. He's eliminated. And that's a 5 versus 4 with 99% on the checkpoint against 49. Red team is trying to control what they can. And, well, this is really, really, really tricky. Alright, so let's see what we're getting here. Okay, still seeing the plays. Zeratul has by now moved towards the top. It's actually not bad. I mean, again, they're trying to just push the lane out here a little bit. We're now so deep into the game that those catapults definitely hurt. So they create pressure up at the top while still aggressing down at the bottom. Dino's now jumping in. Bam! Gets the kill easily. And is now trying to follow it up against Tobos. Gets the second kill. Comes in with a double as they're trying to go for Mena. And he obviously dies too. 5-man team wipe, ladies and gentlemen. Easy kills right here. Zeratul popping off. And with that, they're now sitting at 45,000 damage for Zeratul. Top damage on the team is Cassia. Second highest damage is Zeratul. 0 deaths on his part. Same for Johanna. They got the Protector. Might even be able to go for Core here. Usually the third Protector doesn't end the game. You're happy if you take the keep with it, but in this case, they might just be able to pull it off. I mean, everybody's dead with the exception of Mopsio. Mopsio might fall again, and indeed does. So now there's just no defense any longer. And, yep, we have them going straight for the finish. They have the 1-0 lead in the best of 3 already, so this is going to be a 2-0 victory for the Special Snowflakes as they move on to the winner bracket final of the double elimination system here. And Hardstuck F tier drops down into the losers bracket. GG, and well played.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.